Thank you.
Singapore's Chinatown was recently saved from demolition when the government acknowledged the district's historical value, as well as its importance in maintaining Chinese customs and close family ties, values which help to create a feeling of balance and harmony on the island. While Singapore is a thriving capital for business, it doesn't ignore the essential role spirituality plays in everyday life. One of the most beautiful places of worship on the island is the Sir Mariamma Temple, one of the oldest Hindu temples in Singapore. The colorful and intricate temple was built in 1827, but many of its spectacular murals and statues have been recently restored to their original beauty. Churches, mosques, and other places of worship, like this Chinese temple, are plentiful in Singapore, allowing Western world capitalism and the spirituality of the East to peacefully coexist.
Western and European influences are not only apparent in Singapore's booming commercial life, they're also an important element of the local food culture. And none exemplifies this more than the Regent Hotel's Maxime's, an exact replica of the one so famous in Paris. At Maxime's in Singapore, the service is as impeccable as its French cuisine, yet there's a slight twist, a Southeast Asian touch.
Taste of Life's second fine dining choice in Singapore is Maxime's at the Regent Hotel with executive chef Gerhard Stutz.
Welcome to Maxime's.
Maxime's at the Regent Hotel here in Singapore is undoubtedly one of the most exquisite restaurants in Singapore. The man behind it all, Mr. Gerhard Stutz, the executive chef here. Maxime's is famous all over the world for its restaurant in Paris. Why Maxime's in Singapore?
The owner, Mr. Kui, father, he actually been to Paris, saw Maxime's, and he liked it so much that he said, I would like to have that type of restaurant in my hotel. And after this hotel operating over 10 years, we still have Maxime's, and we're still very successful with that.
Now, Maxime's, of course, being very traditional French cuisine, you've taken that here and adapted Southeast Asian influence.
What we are doing is actually using local products, as I said already, and local ways how to prepare, like steamed fish, only in a steam with vegetable inside, right? And we're using ginger, coriander. I actually learned a lot how preparing food, not much more about products, because products, good new vegetable fruits and fishes which we don't have in Europe, but the way how they prepare, especially seafood, is quite interesting compared to what we do in Europe. Years ago in Europe we still overcook the fish, and here they cook it because it's live and fresh. They just cook it and the fish is just nice. And that was very interesting to learn here, and that's what we also use in Maxime, or doing in Maxime's, right?
So incorporating the two.
Yeah.
Gently incorporating the two. So you still maintain that traditional French cuisine, but you've really added the Southeast Asian influence.
Absolutely.
And that's one of the dishes you're going to show us today. A very popular, traditional, everyday kind of dish.
That's a mee goreng, which is a local noodle dish, which is very popular. I can have it for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and supper, which is it's great. It's a little bit spicy, but it's a typical Singaporean dish.
So this is what people would eat every single day on the streets.
Every single day, yes.
Very traditional.
Yes, you can have them. You can eat it outside or inside the hotel, and it's always very good. They use sometimes different kind of ingredients or different kind of noodles. We are using here the yellow thick noodles. What we do, but the basic preparation is the same.
What are some of the other ingredients that go into this?
One of the basic ingredients what you use is mutton.
Is this something that something they use regularly?
But I mean, you can have that. I like it with chicken as well, so you can choose. You can also make it. We have a combination here with mutton and prawns, but you also can use only seafood, right? So they are quite. The Asian people are flexible.
So really, it's anything goes. Anything goes.
The basic, yeah. Then we have tomato, peas, cabbage, onion, chai sam, which is a local vegetable, bean sprouts. Then later on for the decoration we have some cucumber, green chili and onions. Here we have potatoes, we need an egg. That's a local chili paste. It's not too spicy, but it's quite spicy. Tomato sauce, black sauce, and the main ingredients, yellow noodles.
So am I going to need a glass of water beside me because it's going to be so spicy?
No, you don't need.
Well, we have the dish prepared here.
I have the dish here prepared for you.
And I'm going to try this, actually. And then we'll go into the kitchen and see how this is made.
You maybe watch out the green chili, they are real spicy.
That's where the real spice comes?
That's the real spice.
Do you want to try some of this with me, or
no, I'm fine.
you're going to leave that up to me here?
That's for you.
All right. I'll try not to get any on my suit.
I mean, the local people have that for lunch. They don't have then an appetizer or dessert. They just have one dish.
One dish.
That's why they are so thin and why we are European so big, because we are having always starter, main course, dessert. They usually for a lunch or for a dinner or for supper, they have one noodle dish or one rice dish.
This is fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. I think I could eat this every single day. I could probably eat this 3 times a day. And I think I'm going to keep eating it.
And this.
So Garrett, now you're going to take us into the kitchen and show us how this is made.
Absolutely. My local chef, James, going to show you how this mee goreng is done. Because he is a professional in that dish.
And he's trained, and this is the kind of food that he cooks here.
He's in charge for all our local dishes which we cook here.
Right. Let's go to the kitchen.
Taste of Live's second Singaporean specialty dish is a spicy noodle meal, mee goreng, a staple in any Singaporean diet. For a free copy of this exclusive Maxim's recipe, visit our website or call us toll-free.
All right, Gerhard, James, let's see how this is done.
Of course, local dish, we're going to use a wok. He's heating the oil now. And the first thing he's do, he's scramble the egg. And then he add the noodles. Temperature is very important. If it's too hot, you're gonna burn it, right? And later on, you can taste the burnt flavor. Adding the onion now, then his Chinese cabbage. It's really very important that it's not burned because the wok is very hot. It's easy, it's gonna get burned. So he adds now the mutton, the meat. And as I said before, you can use also chicken or beef or only seafood.
You would put that in now. Any kind of meat or seafood would be what's going in now.
Yes.
Well, noodles before the seafood.
No, the seafood is raw. First the seafood and then the noodles. It has main ingredients like the chili paste, the noodles, and the vegetables, but the other things are really very flexible to use.
I can smell it already.
Adding the sugar piece now. And important is that he moves, that the noodle moves on the vegetable, otherwise, because the gas, which is very hot, will burn it.
And this is also a typical Singaporean dish that you can get at little local booths on the street that people eat every day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
You can have that in any local hawker center, which are outside, around this area, Clarke, Boki, Newton Circus. You can have this dish.
So now soy sauce goes in, is that what that was?
Yes, the 6 sauce. Now we add the tomato sauce. The prawns he adds in the last because they are pre-cooked.
They're pre-cooked. The prawns are already cooked.
They just need to be salted to get the flavor and reheated.
So if they weren't already pre-cooked, they would go in at the same time the meat went in?
Yes, then you have to cook it in there. Adding now the last ingredients, now the tomatoes. Now you mix it and salt it all together, and very soon your mee goreng is ready.
That's a fast dinner. So James, we'll try this hot off the wok. Thank you very much for making this for me. Ooh, it's hot. Now.
It's just fresh out of the wok.
Fresh out of the wok.
Be careful, it's very hot.
The Western world's influence, both culturally and architecturally, remains a major part of Singapore's character. It's apparent that great pains have been taken to preserve the grandeur of the country's colonial roots, and nowhere is it more visible than with the magnificent, world-famous Raffles Hotel. It was the original home of the British sea captain Sir Raffles, who began colonization of Singapore in 1819. This hotel has hosted royalty, film stars, authors, and world leaders for over 100 years. It has recently undergone $160 million in renovations to restore it to its former glory.
In our trek through Singapore, we've definitely discovered a city of contrasts. Ultra-modern architecture and a booming economic market comfortably mingled with age-old customs and traditions, consequently creating one of the most diverse food cultures in the world. All of that in a pretty spectacular location as well. Singapore certainly does live up to its reputation as the Lion City. Thanks for joining us on Taste of Life. We'll see you next week.
Catherine Bly's Wardrobe, courtesy of Jacques and Ross Mayer. While on location in Singapore, Taste of Life stayed at one of Singapore's most noted hotels, the Regent Singapore. If you would like to obtain free recipes or to simply learn more about Taste of Life, contact us at www.tasteoflife.com or call us toll-free at 1-888-41-TASTE.